They say betrayal doesn't always come with a knife in the back sometimes. It comes wrapped in a whisper from the person you loved most. I never thought I'd be that man, the one who overheard something that would split his world in two. But life rarely gives you warnings. It just hits you when you least expect it. My name is Aiden. I'm 36, from Manchester. A software developer, a dreamer, and for 10 years, I was also a husband to Claire. Claire was my everything. My home, my calm. We met at uni, she was studying journalism, and I was buried in code. From the start, she believed in me. Or, so I thought. She used to say, I had the brain to change the world. So when I told her I wanted to start my own company, build something from scratch, she smiled and said, I trust you. For a while that was enough. We moved into a modest flat above a bakery in Stockport. I worked long nights in the spare room. Claire made ends meet with freelance work. We were broke, but happy, or at least I was until the night everything changed. It was a Friday. I'd forgotten my phone at home, something I rarely did, and returned unexpectedly in the middle of the afternoon. The flat was quiet, sunlight pouring through the kitchen window. I reached the hallway, ready to call her name. That's when I heard her voice laughing, soft, sharp, like the kind of laugh that wasn't meant for me. Then another voice, male, smug. I stopped in my tracks. Trevor, her boss, I honestly don't know how you've lasted this long. He chuckled. Claire responded, and every word sliced deeper than the last. Because he's harmless, she said. He really thinks his startup will make it big. Poor thing. He still brings me flowers every Friday. Trevor laughed again. And you play the loving wife? Of course, she replied. Let him have his fantasy. One more year, once I've got what I need. I'll file for divorce. Silence. I stood there, breathless, frozen. She didn't. No, I was home. She didn't know I'd heard that night. I didn't confront her. I couldn't. I sat in the garage, in front of my laptop, staring at the code I'd poured my life into. It all felt like a lie. But something shifted in me. Fire I didn't know I had. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I worked. Over the next 3 months, I built something real. A new kind of cybersecurity. Protocol. One that no one else had touched yet. Lightweight, fast, unbreakable. I worked in silence. Claire kept pretending. She still kissed my cheek in the mornings. Still posted our happy photos online. Still told her friends how hardworking her husband was. She thought. I was too blind to see, but I saw everything. And I was done being blind. The breakthrough came suddenly, a meeting with a private investor, arranged through a connection I'd long forgotten I had. I presented the prototype 30 minutes later. They offered a deal that would change my life. Pounds 6.2 million for the patent and first development rights. I said yes. On one condition, it had to stay confidential until the transfer was complete. I walked out of that meeting not as a husband, but as a man preparing for escape. A week later, Claire handed me an envelope. Divorce papers. I looked at her calmly. I thought you said you believed in me, I whispered. She smiled, cruel and casual. I believed in your potential, not your delusion. She thought she was in control. She thought she was getting half. She had no idea. The courtroom was quiet. Her lawyer, sharp and overconfident, argued she was entitled to 50%. They talked about the sacrifices she made, the years of support, the emotional labor. I let them talk, and then I stood. Your Honor, I said, may I submit new financial disclosures? The judge nodded. I handed over the documents, proof of the patent, the sale, the exact date it was finalized. The date after she served me papers, developed after separation, not marital. Property. She turned pale. Her lawyer stammered. The judge cleared her throat. In that case, Mrs. Bennett, I see no basis for your claim on the intellectual property. World shattered, mine finally started. That was 2 years ago. Now I live in Edinburgh. I bought a small cottage near Arthur's Seat, surrounded by green hills and peace. I run my own firm, quietly, remotely. I don't need a lot. I mentor young developers who remind me of who I used to be. Eager, naive, full of belief, Claire. Moved to London with Trevor, so I heard. They broke up. He left her for someone younger. She emailed me once. No apology, just, I hope you're happy. I didn't reply, not because I hate her, but because some doors should never be reopened. Don't tell this story often, but if you're listening, really listening, hear this. Not everyone who smiles with you is standing beside you. Sometimes the deepest betrayals are the ones that look like love. So, protect your dream. Work in silence. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. And when it's time, let your results make the noise. They never thought you'd be capable of. I believed in her, but now, I only believe in myself, and that's more than enough.